All right, peace to everybody in the room. This is Creative Collection, and we back with Vision, and we're gonna take it to where she left off. You were talking about things that you shouldn't do when you get ready to go on this journey.
Yeah, we left off where I was talking about the mirror and how it being a portal. Well, actually, when I talk to people, I tell them about the bathroom, right? So we got a couple more people coming in. I want to let them come in. It's okay. Yep, come in and mute. Perfect. They're in here. Hi, everyone. Hi. We just hopped back on and we're on part 2 of part 1. And we were talking about the bathroom and it being a portal and the mirror and all that good stuff, right?
Everybody that joined, please mute your mic.
Yes, and the medicines. Peace to the room. Peace to the room. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes, and we were also talking about the medicines. This is for the psilocybin journeys that we're speaking of. So what I do is I tell people one of the rules when they go to the restroom, because of course what the restroom has a mirror. So when you go to the restroom, I tell them to get their ass in there, use the restroom, and just come out. Try not to be in there looking in the mirror. Don't look in the mirror. Don't cut on a light, right? Because what happens is when you're on this medicine, the veil is lifted, and now you can physically tell that you're in the spiritual realm. And why the mirror being a portal, right? You're able to see yourself. You're able to see yourself when you look in this mirror. That's the only time you can see yourself is when you see a reflection of yourself, right? Other than that, other people have to tell you how you look. So when you go and you look in that mirror and you're in the spiritual realm, you have to be ready for what's looking back at you. Now, if you ain't ready for that, then don't look in the mirror. But I always got somebody that's gonna say, I'm gonna look in that damn mirror every time. But I also tell them that if they want to look in the mirror and they're a little nervous to look in the mirror, they can come get me and we can go look in the mirror. I'll even have times in my retreats or ceremonies where spirit will have me take people to the side to do mirror work with them, right? The bathroom is a portal. When you sit on the toilet, I know y'all seen the statue of the man sitting on the toilet and he's thinking, right? When people sit on the toilet, whether they realize it or not, that's when a lot of downloads come. People don't even understand that. People get a lot of good work and get real creative on the toilet because the toilet is a portal, because you are releasing from your body the toxins and the things that's not supposed to be in the body, right? And so the mirror is also a portal. Remember earlier we talked about us being spirit beings and forever beings. That eternal internal soul that is inside of us is God. God exists in all dimensions, in all realms. And so do we, because we are God. And so when you are lacking things in this life, in this realm, you're able to go into the portal and call forth the things that you are missing in this life. You can call it forth through the portal of the mirror. That's something called mirror work. And so another thing that I teach people to do, but I only teach people to do these things when it has something to do with them, right? I don't teach people things to learn how to do things on other people or learn about other people. Why this person did me like this. I want to come find out if my boyfriend cheating. This ain't what this is about. So we're not coming in and we ain't talking about that. We coming in talking about you. You first. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody else. This is not about make the lover come back to me. No. This is for you to vibrate high so that you can attract the lover that you're supposed to have. Bingo. That's what this is about. You know what I mean? So that is that aspect as far as the mirror in the bathroom being a portal, and me telling people, you know, about that too. And then as far as the lighting is more of a preference thing for me, because we like to everything has a vibrational frequency, right? And so I like to heal also with colors. And so I have different colors flashing and stuff like that during my ceremonies also. So we kind of like the lighting to be just the way the lighting is. It's perfect for people's eyes that's going on a journey, unless you're deciding to do something like a journey in nature or something like that. Then it don't matter.
Yeah. I have something to say about something you said because I heard you say that we are gods. Um to take it to a level that's graspable, of something that people can grasp for anybody that's listening. I don't know if people know about the God gene, but it's something called the VMAT gene, aka the God gene, and we all have it. It's a part of us. We all have it. It gives us our intuition. It gives us our spiritual beliefs. It gives us our spiritual identity, and it gives us all of these like our visions and just our spiritual beliefs in general. It gives us, and it's a scientific thing where they discovered it and stuff like that, and it's in our brain. And that once I found out about that, because I learned about that probably like 2 years ago. I started to realize like to tap in more into it and really realize like we are really like one with God, and we are in a sense like what you said. And yeah, it made it easier for me to, once I found out, it made me easier to accept it and stop like pushing away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about the God gene?
I know about the God gene. I
Okay,
definitely
okay.
know about the God gene. When you're caught up in religion and you learning religion like that, it's easy to not want to believe a lot of stuff
Hmm.
because it's ruled by fear. Don't do this or this gonna happen. Don't do that or that's gonna happen.
Who made
Point
that up though?
period. We manifest our heaven and we manifest our hell. We come down here on this earth becoming master manifestors.
Hmm.
We are sitting in our situation that we manifested right here, right now, through the choices that we made or we did not make. We manifested our own situation, right? So it's just about asking the questions and learning for yourself. It's not about I heard. It's not about somebody told me. It shouldn't be about what the pastor said, what your cousin said, what your friend said. It should be something about what you experience for yourself, because when you experience it, you have proof, and it's
Yeah.
nothing that nobody can tell you.
But what does religion even mean though? Because like I mean, like in the Bible, I think the word religion is only in the Bible probably like in the New Testament like 3 times.
Well,
Like
here's the
people
thing. Go
people
ahead.
took it, and people take these words and then like get the most carnal understanding of it, and then run with the carnal understanding of it. Period. If it's in there 3 times and you inspect what it's saying, it's not saying to create all of this division and all of this and stuff like that. It's not really saying the same thing, but we always take the word. I think all words have about 4 meanings at least, and we always go for the lowest vibrational meaning of the word every time. Like, why do we love the lowest vibrational meaning of the word? I don't get it, but I think soon nowadays people are starting to realize that they let me go for the higher understanding or the better. Let me go for the better definition at least, and that's still minimal because English itself is terrible, but at least go for the highest vibrational English word at least.
Right, right. Well, religion is man-made. Before there was any religion, man communicated directly with God, right? It was uh no median, right? Although you had people that get stuck, of course you had people that were deeper, because all this shit is levels. Everything is levels, right? Like I said, Earth is a class. When you're in school, you graduate to different levels. Your hair has different layers and levels. Your skin has different layer and levels. Your nails have different layers and levels, right? Tests have different layers and levels. Your life has different layers and levels, right? So we have to go in and learn on the level that we can learn on, and be willing to tap into learning and ascending to the other levels. But we have to be willing to go in to do that work. And religion, it came on the scene for control. right? And it's just passed down. Like I said, I was going back studying to the beginning of time. You had beginning of times, you have the Sumerian tablets, then you have the emerald tablets, you have all of, before paper, there were tablets, things were written in stone, right? And so they translated and they took things from the different tablets and they put them in the books. And this man did this account, this man did that account. And they don't understand that when they're in the Bible and they're reading these stories about Jesus, they're reading it from people that wrote about Jesus 100 years after his death. Now, what do you really truly know about somebody who died 100 years ago? What the hell do you remember about everything that you did yesterday? Yourself, right? So if you're going to go and really want to learn about the history, about Jesus and religion, and because Jesus was not caught up in any religion
At all.
Jesus,
He was
at
caught up in
all.
parables.
Jesus was not a he was not a Christian. He was not a part of any religion. He pointed people to God. He did not tell people to worship him. He did not tell people to bow to him. You are supposed to follow him as the blueprint, not what would Jesus do if somebody slapped you and you turned the other cheek.
Jesus
Not
said,
that.
Jesus said, eat my flesh. Eat my flesh means take my understanding, and you are me. And if you are me, then you with God. That's really that's what he said. All this other stuff is just division. That's all it is, honestly. That's how I look at it.
Division, fear,
Yeah, sure.
manipulation. It's a lot of different things. Crab in the barrel. We can call it a lot of different things on what it is, but people have to understand that you didn't come in this world with no pastor.
That's a fact.
You came from where we come from before we incarnate. You came from where we go to when we leave this earth. You didn't come down here with no pastor to tell you how to connect to God. You came from God. You came down here called amnesia. And
Right.
so now, if anybody is here living in this time in the mass awakening, shame on you if you don't wake up.
Right.
I got a quick question. Could you what's your take on deja vu?
My take on deja vu is that shit had happened before in a previous parallel universe.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah.
So, for example, a few years ago, I was walking, and like them little religion pamphlets that they give out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I grabbed one on the street while I was walking because a lady she was giving it to me. Pause. Right. So as soon as I touched it, I immediately had deja vu, and I was just like, wait, damn, I wasn't supposed to touch that. Right. And then that entire year, I kept having deja vu about me speaking about death or about me talking about me dying in some or getting hurt in some way or form. So that year I thought I was gonna die. So eventually, like, the deja vu, and it kept happening, I got frustrated. So my best friend at the time, she was having a party. So I don't really want to call it like a vision or premonition, but basically I saw myself getting shot at her party. And then another time, I just saw like shots going off at the party. And then like the third time, I saw either like me or my cousin getting hurt in the party. So I was like, you know what? If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I'm just gonna go see. So me or my cousin, we didn't end up getting hurt, but shots were thrown at the party. So weird to me.
Because bro, it's intuition. Your intuition is, you got that intuition, man.
That's one thing that you were experiencing. You were experiencing parallel universes and also past lives. Also past lives. Like I said, you've been here billions of times, right? You come back because your ass ain't learned the lessons. What you gonna learn? You're gonna learn the lessons this time. You're gonna ascend to the next level. You're gonna keep having to come down here and do the same thing. People don't just deal with the trauma and things that they deal with in this life and the lessons that they need to learn in this life. They also carry them over from past lives. I had someone that came to my past retreat in Michigan, and she has narcolepsy. She's always had it. She's basically was born with it. And so when I was talking to her on the phone, she talked to me about this reoccurring dream that she had, right? And she had this dream where she was in the bed and she was sleeping. And she had a lot of, Heather, if you can hit mute on your there you go, thank you.
I hit it.
And she had oh damn, what was I gonna say? Tell me the part I was gonna read. That's what I was gonna tell y'all before I came off. See, I've been smoking marijuana.
Narcolepsy. Narcolepsy.
What she say?
Narcolepsy.
Narcolepsy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let me say this. I smoke marijuana. So when I smoke marijuana, my short-term memory be on bump, but my long-term memory be on joint. So if I say just remind me of the last thing I said. Okay. Okay. So now let me go back to she has narcolepsy, had narcolepsy. And so we're on her Zoom intake interview before this retreat. And she talks about this reoccurring dream that she has of this man trying to come in her room, come and bust into her house. And she's sleeping, but she can't get up out of the bed. And she just keep having this reoccurring dream. She's had it her whole life. And immediately Spirit told me that that was a past life. That's a way that she passed away. That's her last life. That's how she passed away. She was in the bed and she was sleeping, and someone came through the door and murdered her while she was sleeping. So she carried that narcolepsy over into this realm where you said, you know what narcolepsy is?
No, I'm not familiar.
Narcolepsy is something where you can be talking to somebody and then they in the middle of them talking, you talking to them, they can just fall asleep. If something comes over them and they just fall asleep. Sometimes it's a light cat nap, sometimes it's a deep sleep. And it happens at random times. And so it's a lot of different themes and visions that people get, or they call them deja vus, that are either past lives or parallel universes.
It's deep, and I believe it honestly. Like I know it because I've seen, just people. I don't even know how to say it. People have predicted things they weren't supposed to predict. That's how I must put it. And I've seen it too often.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you believe that people can get like stuck in mirrors?
Can get stuck in mirrors?
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the mindset. And I'll tell you, because a mirror can be either a maze or it can be a labyrinth, depending on your mindset. Right. And so I'll give you an example. There was a mother and daughter that came to one of my retreats, and the daughter, the medicine, remember I told y'all the medicine can kick in as quick as 10 to 15 minutes. Well, it kicked in like 10 to 15 minutes on the daughter. Remember I told y'all, when you go in the bathroom, don't cut on the light. Don't look in the mirror, because you got to be ready for what's looking back. Her ass, 10 minutes, medicine kicked on. I got to use the bathroom. Stood up, went to the bathroom, cut on the light, and looked in the mirror. Not thinking. And then we heard her say, no. And so I came in the bathroom with her, and it's like she was stuck. She was stuck. She was on the toilet. She was stuck. She was stuck like this.
Right.
She was stuck like this, right? She couldn't wipe herself. She couldn't do anything. So I had to help her get herself together. Right. And I had to have my staff help her to come out into a different space where we could work with her. She could not speak. Right. For hours, 4 hours, she was stuck. In her mind, she was stuck in a maze, but we were trying to let her know that she was in a labyrinth. But me being the shaman looking at her, when I got on her and saw her, it was a very ancient native entity that was attached to her. It was a male, and he was extremely angry. He was there to protect her, and he would not let her speak. There was a wooden hand over her mouth.
Okay.
It was a wooden hand over her mouth, right? And so now we have to walk her in the labyrinth of her mind because of the trauma that she had been through, right? She had been through a lot. She had been seen on the news breaking in people's houses, right? So she was really out there in them streets and she was doing some things, right? And so she had a lot of pent up trauma and a lot of anger towards her mother. And so now we're walking her through her journey, and it's time. Now your mama in there enjoying her journey. And I said, okay, time to get your ass up. Come on in here with your daughter, because she's been stuck. And now it's time for you to work with her. You don't work through some of your stuff. Now it's time to work with you, with her. And when I sat down next to her and her daughter looked at her daughter was angry as hell. That entity was angry as hell. And I said, ooh, she mad at you. She mad at you. And so we had to sit there and walk her through her labyrinth. My assistant had to say, hey, here I go. She said she remembered being stuck in a maze. And she remembered not really being able to tell how to get out of it, but hearing us and hearing my assistant say, you know, here I am, you know, come on, come towards this way. And so as we walked down, right, the medicine won't allow me to just snatch something up out of people, even though I see it and I want it to go instantly, right? Sometimes people got to really work on their shit. So I had to, through the help of the plant medicine, see what it was, right, that had her shut up like that. And what it ended up being was the religion and the shame, because the people were deep into the church when she got, you know what I'm saying?
The religion thing is crazy. The religion
thing, right?
It's
so I called it out.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm sorry, I gotta cut it off, but right now learning. We're learning the doctrine right now to help, because the Bible is a great book, like, but you have to learn the parables and similitudes. You gotta learn the parables and similitudes, metaphors, and allegories. If you don't learn them, then you just get in a carnal understanding, and everything's a sin. You just can't live. And it's a respected thing, but then you losing your mind now. Every little thing's, oh, this is wrong, oh, that's wrong, oh, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's terrible, and I can only imagine dealing with the plant medicine and then being really spiritually like abroad and dealing with that. It can get crazy. I can imagine.
Yeah, it got deep. And when I yelled out, I said it was the church, it was the shame. She hadn't spoke in all that time, couldn't, and tried. She said, yep. She came out of it just like that. We had to walk her through for those hours to say it was the church, it was the shame, when her face went across that news. And it was the shame. She said, yep. Yeah, she kicked out of it. And then from that, she went down to a 5-year-old girl, the 5-year-old girl that had trauma, that had lost some things that her parent instilled in her. And she had to come up and kind of fight through that. Her father was supposed to come to the ceremony, but he decided not to come. Spirit says she would have came out faster if he was there. But I had to call him on the phone and have him on speakerphone. So he was on the speakerphone while we were in ceremony and me walking her through. And so by him being there, when she turned into the 5-year-old girl, they were able to kind of work some things out, and she was able to release some of that trauma, you know, from that too. But yes, people can get stuck if they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Especially when you on plant medicine.
Oh yeah, yeah. That stuff is nothing to play with.
Mm-mm.
None of the mushrooms ain't nothing to play with. None of that stuff.
No, it's not, because people don't know about setting, and dosage. And then they take this medicine, and now the subconscious mind is open, and they're in the spirit realm, and they don't know what the hell going on. They're around people that they think like them. And then when them energies start hitting, and they're around energies that they don't know, they're not familiar with, they feel like they're having a bad trip.
You gotta be, you think you're having a bad trip, right? You gotta be around, like you said, purity, people with pure intentions, like yourself, somebody that's here straight for healing, and they devoted, and they walking with God, and they're on a hill. Their purpose is to heal. One of their purposes. I don't like to limit people to one purpose. I feel like we all have many. We might only know a few of them, but we all have many purposes. And if your purpose is to do this, then I could be with this person because I know for sure their purpose is to do this.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this next medicine that I use is called Bufo ovarius. It is the toad medicine, Sonoran desert toad, 5-MeO DMT. Have you guys heard of that before?
Mm-mm.
I watched the Mike Tyson podcast, so I learned from it.
Okay, so yes.
But originally, the other medicine, that's what I thought you was talking about until you went into detail. So this is interesting.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, Mike Tyson took it and it straightened his ass up. I'm pretty sure you've seen the podcast.
Yeah, I did.
But what this medicine is, it is called the God molecule, and they call it that because it has 5-MeO DMT, something that our body naturally produces. But our body produces the most 5-MeO DMT when we're born in this world and when we leave this earth. So with this medicine, remember we talked about the psilocybin. The psilocybin can take 30 to 40 minutes to kick in, and then you're on a journey for 6 to 8 hours. This medicine hits instantly, and it lasts for 30 minutes. But with this medicine, you bypass the moon, the stars, the earth, the galaxies, your ancestors, the spiritual realms, and you go straight to source. Ain't no middleman. I call it, it's a soul snatching. So I tell people, lay down and let God take you. Because what happens is, like the Bible says, a man cannot live and see God, right? You can't. It has to be a complete ego death. You have to have a disillusion of the ego so that you can forget everything that you think you know about yourself or anything else. All in that moment when the medicine hit, you find out that it's all a lie. You find out that we truly are in the matrix. And then you find out that you are the all and the nothingness, all at the same time. It's not something that you heard or you read about. It's something that you experience. It's people on this live that have been in Bufo ceremonies with me, that have been in psilocybin ceremonies with me. And it is a complete ego death. And when you come back, that is the true meaning of rebirth. True meaning of rebirth. You see, people are they saying complete. People are saying, they are commenting on it.
Ego death.
Complete ego death. Everything that you ever thought about yourself or anybody is gone. The earth falls in on itself.
Ego death.
For your eyes.
I must have went through a small version of that though, because my ego just shrunk a lot.
Yeah.
Listen, I can tell you, you have not been through that.
Okay. I said, I'm not saying I went through that. I'm saying like,
I'm
talking about as far as my ego not being here. Like I'm not really. I know. I still
felt like I killed my ego at one point.
My ego went down, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying I went through what you're talking about.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit more about the ego, right? Because a lot of times some people think that ego is like you walking around with a certain air about you, and that's part of it, right? But the ego is the knowledge of self, right? Sean, you think your name is Sean, you think you Black, you think this is your job, you think you have a podcast, you think you drive this kind of car, you think you live in this kind of house, you think you grew up and you had trauma. That's not who you are. You don't even have a body, right? So that's what you experience. You forget everything. You see that, oh, that's a lie. You not Shine. Don't none of this shit matter. None of the trauma that you've been through matter. Everything that you've been through in your life was worth everything for that moment, right? And so you come back and live to tell about it. So it's a beautiful, beautiful experience. Ego death ain't no joke. You got Heather right here, Heather Bird. She came. It was her very first psilocybin and Bufo journey. After the Bufo journey, the birds started talking to her. She started being able to communicate with the birds. And she thought she was going to take her ass outside and talk to the birds. He said, they want me to come outside. They want me to come outside. And I had to say no. You cannot go outside and talk to the birds.
That's amazing. I want them to share like at least 1 to 2 minutes each. I want them to share their journeys with you. And I know that'll be for the next segment. So well, how much time do we have left, Design?
We got 4 minutes left.
We have 4 minutes left. Okay, so the next segment, we're gonna let you wrap it up, and then we're gonna let the people talk about their experience, or if they have a question.
Another segment. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all coming back for the next segment so we can talk about some of y'all journeys. We got to talk about some of y'all journeys. Some of y'all got look. Damiana like yes. Bring me back. Do you see her? Yes. Make sure you come back. Make sure y'all come back. So y'all
I'm gonna be back.
Please, because we would love to hear that. People need to hear that. You know, we see these things, we see ads and all of that, but when you actually see people talking about it, we know it's real rather than you just seeing somebody promote it. You understand? So just to hear y'all experiences means so much to the people that's here and to the people that's going to watch in the future. So we thank each and every one of y'all, and we appreciate if y'all come back.
I'm not
Thank
gonna.
you, Princella.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
Of
I
course.
would try to toad, but I'm scared. I'm afraid.
And you know what? Fear is a natural thing, but fear is also not something that we're born with. Fear is also something that's inflicted. A child will sit there and walk into the freeway. They will stick their hand on fire. They will jump off of anything because we're not born with fear. Fear is something that is instilled in us. Don't do this or that's going to happen. Don't do this or that's going to happen, right? That's all that is. On the other side of fear is freedom. What you afraid of? Going inside of yourself. That's it. Yourself, your universe. None of this medicine is here to punish nobody. It's not here. It's not a punisher, right? The Bufo shows you who you truly are and the power that you truly hold. It destroys any fear of death because it tells you where we come from and where we go to when we leave this realm, right? And then the psilocybin, it is a teacher. It's going to give you downloads. The medicine is already in you. When you walk around this earth, remember I told you under the ground is mycelium. This medicine spits out trillions and billions and trillions of spores. I call them genderless penises because we're breathing in those spores of the medicine. We are already the medicine. It has already broken us down, right? The fact that y'all are on here, the medicine is calling your name. It's just a matter of time. So you could be scared. It's people that's on here that said, when I told them about Bufo, they was like, I'm not doing no damn Bufo.
At all.
I was like, oh, yes, you are. I was like, yes, you are.
I mean, every single thing that we talk about, I take the time to sit back and like research it after if I don't know about it, know much about what we talk about. I'm gonna look into everything that we talking about.
Yes, Bufo alvarius. It is the toad medicine, toad venom, Sonoran desert toad. It only comes out to mate 3 months out of the year after the monsoon. That's it. And they take and they massage the glands of the toad and it secretes its venom. And the venom is there. It is dry and then it is vaporized. And so it takes you on a journey. God put this medicine in a damn toad, y'all. In a damn toad.
This segment is down to a minute left right now. I just didn't want to just cut off on you.
So when we coming back in, how long? 7 minutes again?
7 minutes, yeah.
Okay, come back in 7 minutes, y'all, when it cut off, and then